Thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening. Now you've noticed I brought my script with me because it was made in no uncertain terms to me known that I had 5 minutes. So if I don't read off this thing, I will definitely go more than 5 minutes. So here we go. I'm still trying to figure out why I'm here. I guess I have overcome great odds to have a story, or I'm a storyteller, or I'm full of, never mind. So here we go. Born and raised in New York City, Brooklyn and Queens to be exact, a proud product of the New York City public school system, which showed its greatness by excusing my absence from school. I wrote absence, but then it was called playing hooky or cutting school, on October 16th, 1969. Who knows why? Because I went to Game 5 of the World Series, and all you had to do was show that ticket and you got an excused absence. So if you haven't figured it out by now, I am and was a sports fan. That is hook number one. I never wanted to be a policeman or a fireman growing up. As a matter of fact, when I went to college the first year, I was an undeclared major because I didn't know what I wanted to do. But in my sophomore year, when I went to register, as per usual, the classes I needed closed. Can't get in. So I took a class that I thought might be interesting. Broadcasting 101. Okay. First class, it's one of those, 100 students, 150 students, 200 students, 5,000 students, I don't know, one of those big auditoriums. And there was an assignment. Every week you had to go to the school library. You remember libraries, don't you? Okay. Had to go to the school library and pick out Broadcasting Magazine. And from Broadcasting Magazine, you had to read one article and write a report on it. That was every week you had to submit that. So I went to the library and got Broadcasting Magazine. And I didn't read one article. I read every article. I read the ads. I devoured the magazine. I knew more about transmitters for low UHF stations in the middle of Nebraska than anybody would know because I read everything. I was hooked. Broadcasting is what I wanted to do. So I was hooked a second time, and now I knew what to major in. Turned out to be called radio, TV, and film. Career, broadcasting. In particular, play-by-play. I wanted to do play-by-play for a major league team. That's what I wanted to do, and I set out to reach the top. After 4 years behind the microphone, I was named to host the first ever nationwide sports talk show. This is 1981, and there was something new with this show. Besides being nationwide, it had 800 numbers for toll-free calling. Never done before. And the signal was delivered to radio stations via satellite. For those of you that are wondering, it was Westar 4. I just thought maybe there's somebody out there who wants to know what was Westar 4. 8 years later, I had reached the top. I was named the voice of the San Antonio Spurs. And it's all I ever want. You can clap, it's okay. I know it's all right. It's all right. I wanted to do this for the rest of my working life. And by the way, there was no end date assigned to the rest of my working life. So that's all I wanted to do. I turned down other jobs around the country. I was loyal. I didn't inquire when other jobs were opening up, when people would interview me and say, why don't you come work here? We're a nice city. So what? It snows 50 inches a year, Minnesota. I said, no, I don't think I'll do that. And I was behind the mic in 1999 when the Spurs won their first NBA championship. It's all right. And yes, they beat my childhood favorite team, the New York Knicks. It was a thrill to do the game at Madison Square Garden. And it taught me another lesson. Because at the end of all that, when the next season begins, who knows what you get? A ring. Who said ring? Congratulations, you win nothing. All right, so I get a ring. I get a championship ring. And I always wondered, I'd ask coaches and players, what's the big deal? Why is getting a ring such a big deal? And the answer always came back, because they can't take that away from you. So today, still, one of my cherished things is my ring. Okay? I thought that I would be there forever, but there were 3 individuals who had other ideas. And I was gone when my contract wasn't renewed after the 2001 season. It was not performance, it was jealousy. I succumbed to people who simply were in the organization who didn't like I didn't have to wait online at restaurants. It was jealousy. It was nothing more than that. So both my jobs are gone in a flash. I have one kid in college, which I was cash flowing. I had a senior in high school. And about the same time, something else happened. Anybody have an idea? Anybody remember? It was on the front page of the newspaper. Everybody talked about it. We talked about it yesterday. 9/11 happened. Changed the world. Broadcasting had been doing one of these dives, cutting your pay in half, making you work twice as long. I thought I was insulated, but when that happened, it was hard to get a job. By 2004, I had to make a decision that I had thought I had made in college. What am I going to do? I needed a new career, 30 years of broadcaster. I spent a full year networking on what I might do, vetting this path, and finally deciding that I would go into financial planning and advising. Not, mind you, a learning curve, a steep incline. It is hard. And I had to pass 5 licensing examinations. And how are people going to work with me and trust me to their finances when all they know is I said bang on the radio? Well, it was pretty good at work, but I'm trusting me in my financial future. Along the way, I had to reinvent myself, and I had to overcome many obstacles, like people I worked for who lied to me. No. Seriously? Yes, they did. I had to overcome all that. So here I am today. Am I a success? I own my own company. Does that make me successful? Maybe. I have a business partner. Perhaps some people measure it that way. However, we do really, really good work, and we help people a lot. And I think that's what success is. I suppose I'm here to let you know that you can achieve your goals and you can do things that you don't think you can do, and all that's true. And it doesn't hurt to have some luck along the way. But is it luck? Or is luck the residue of design? Which is it? I'll leave you with that question. I am a financial planner and advisor. I am also an educator. I developed my own class called Guide to Retirement Planning. We teach 12 classes a year. All my clients must, M-U-S-T, underline it, must have a written financial plan because it's their roadmap to future success. It's built for them. Human nature, we all have, is a failed investor. Your plan takes the emotion out of investing. That ends the commercial. Relax. I think everyone can be successful, but success is probably different for every one of us. For me, it's doing good. It's doing well by doing good, and it's being happy by doing well by doing good. Rabbi Teldon says it reminds him of an idea he once read, that the only figure in the entire 5 books of Moses called successful is Joseph. One of the understandings is that the true success is defined as staying true to your deepest self, your core values, I lost my place, despite challenging surroundings and circumstances. Something Joseph personified while living in Egypt, far from his family. Thank you for putting up with me. Papa wasn't too boring. I'm not done yet. The other thing is, you don't do this by yourself. You get help. My wife, Debbie, my adoptive daughter, Blanca, and the one who's known me the longest, my mom, Rhoda, who is available for photos, autographs, and mitzvahs on weekends.